halls and them little cafes where you can get a taste of the Lone Star State. Strap on your boots and have yourself a laugh or two. Well, there's no line dancing, just straight romancing. That hill country love, well, it's what I fancy. Where streams run clear and Lord, the skies, they are so blue. Yeah, I like Texas. Well, ain't it fine here? Like to pick my guitar down at Old Green Hall and drink that Shiner-bought beer. Yeah, I like Texas. Man, there ain't no doubt. You just listen to me, 'cause I know what I'm talking about. Now it's a 2-day-old burrito on a lukewarm bed to go on a Sunday side of a road trip weekend. Lordy, I was feeling so low when somebody flipped on a jukebox and I heard old Bob Will say, well, won't you stay all night, stay a little longer, so I held on another day. Yeah, I like Texas on a Saturday night. Just let me listen to old Gary Peanut and everything will be just right down here in Texas. Man, there ain't no doubt. You just listen to me, 'cause I know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I like Texas. Well, ain't it fine here? Like to pick my guitar down at Stubbs Barbecue, drink that Shiner-bought beer. Yeah, I like Texas. Man, there ain't no doubt. You just listen to me, 'cause I know what I'm talking about. I said you just listen to me, 'cause I know what I'm talking about.
What's up, everybody? It's the middle of the day in the middle of the week with Josh Fuller. You're on KTXF, The Real. Hey, everybody, this is Josh Fuller. It is the middle of the day in the middle of the week. You're listening to KTXF, The Real, and it is time for a fun show because I actually have a guest this time. So if you want to talk to us while we're doing our show, please text 832-910-7359. That's 832-910-7359. If you want to hear or you want to be a part of the show, then text us. We've got our apps open here. You can also find us on Facebook at KTXF The Real. You can go to Josh Fuller's Facebook. And my guest tonight is a friend of mine named Susan Giacona, right? The C is the K sound, right?
Yeah.
Susan Giacona. Say hello to everybody, Susan.
Hey, everybody.
Sounds good. Sounds good. So welcome to my little makeshift studio here. And
it's beautiful. It's comfy. I'm sitting on a couch with history. And
yes, a very important couch. For those of you who didn't know, she's sitting on the couch that came from the green room at Dosey Do's Music Cafe. They gave it to me, so that couch has held a lot of history.
I'm feeling the good energy actually coming right up through the seat here.
Oh,
yes, I
put
all
seat
good.
warmers in it. That's why you can feel the seat warmers. So Susan is a songwriter, and she's also an amazing singer. And the last time we talked, we did this off air, but we got to do it for the show now. So the last time that me and you met, we were at a Black Walnut here in the Woodlands, and you were picking my brain about just the music songwriting business and the music business and all that other stuff. And I said what I knew, but I don't know much. Nobody really knows everything. And then the next thing I know, I'm watching your Facebook go crazy with all this amazing, cool, fun stuff and adventures that you're doing songwriting.
Thank you, Josh.
Let's delve into some of the things you've been doing over was that a year or has that been 2 years?
No, it's been 2 years. 2 years
Since
ago,
we met.
I went full time into my songwriting, and I've always been singing, but I really started hitting it hard, like starting early in the morning and ending it into the evening for songwriting every single day.
Like a real job.
Exactly. And then now it's how I make my living.
Awesome. Well, I've been quite jealous of a lot of the things you've posted.
Oh, that is
and
so
I
sweet,
say that in a friendly,
I know
friendly
you do.
banter kind
I
of
know.
way, not a that you didn't deserve it way. So let's. There's a lot of things to talk about. So let's say 2 years ago you really went into it full time. You were putting everything you had into it. You wake up, it's the first thing you did. You go to bed, it's the last thing you did. So you made a few trips to Nashville. You've met some songwriters. You've been doing some co-writing and all that stuff.
That's right.
I think when we were talking at Black Walnut that day, you were getting some advice from some really powerful songwriters on some stuff that you had already written.
Exactly.
And I think you ended up writing with some of them.
I did.
So let's hear about some of that and some names, and drop some names. I'll pick them.
Oh,
I'll
you
sweep them
drop-
up. You
Okay.
drop all the names you want, and I'll sweep them up when you leave.
All right. Let's see. Well, initially, I had gone to a songwriters conference with the Songtown group, which is managed by Marty Dodson. Marty Dodson and Clay Mills. Clay has written a lot of songs for Darius Rucker and Faith Hill, and just a lot of cuts. Marty Dodson,
awesome.
lots of cuts. Let's see, Kenny Chesney, Everybody Wants to Go to Heaven. Oh my gosh, the list is so long.
That's awesome.
I really, seriously, the list is huge, and I'm just so honored to have written with those guys, and hopefully to write with them again in the future. But so went to a songwriters conference, and somebody out there that was one of the speakers heard something that I'd written, and she loved it, and her name was Shelley Piken. And Shelley was a Grammy nominee with the song, I can say, the song was called Bitch. And so I can say that on your show, right?
It's internet radio. We can say
Okay.
whatever the hell we want.
Oh, okay.
It's
All right.
good.
All right. All right. Sorry. We're trying to keep it PG-13.
PG-13. I think, I've heard a lot of 13-years-olds say bitch. So I think we're all right.
Yeah, exactly. But when I have a microphone in front of my mouth, I always want to, make sure who's listening. But so Shelley heard a song that I'd written, and she asked me if she could do a co-write on it. And that was obviously that stoked the fire right there to think
Is that the song I'm thinking of? I'm a lover, I'm a child. Is it the same one?
Oh, for Shelley,
Yeah?
that's
Okay.
that's Shelley Piken,
Wow.
and
Sorry,
so
I didn't mean to digress.
Oh,
but
that's
that was,
okay. That's
I was
okay.
sitting there
Actually-
going, man, how many songs do I know that
Right.
called that? And that had to
Right.
be it.
So then Shelley actually just she's got a Grammy nomination right now for her spoken word of her book. Yeah. So it was a song called "Make Mama Love You Again."
Okay.
And so we've got plans for it, but and then Marty ended up being on a write on that, and then just started writing with several other people. Have a few songs with Clay that some other artists are cutting,
All right.
and then I got asked to work on a movie, and then Marty ended up working with me on a song for that movie, which is coming out soon. It's called Silent Warrior,
All right.
and the producer of that movie heard the song that I'd actually written for this nonprofit group called Kindness Matters.
Okay.
It's going to be a movie about teens and preteens that end up
So
taking their own
you're
lives.
using there's doing several things you're doing with music that are charity driven or good cause driven.
Well, I'm on the board of directors for Wheelchairs for Warriors as well.
Cool.
And so really excited about that group. Crystal Larimore with Larimore Media Group heads up that group. We've got Sheriff of Montgomery on our board, so we're always protected.
There you go. There you go.
Heidi Hansing, who's also ex Air Force, is in our group. So we've got a really good board of directors. But Yeah, so I've got lot of things that are important to me that are definitely close to my heart that I like doing projects for. And if you're going to get out there and do what you love and doing it for groups that you love where you can also make a living as well, that's a wonderful thing.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. So what I was telling you about the Silent Warrior movie, that's about to come out.
Okay.
And so the producer ended up hearing a song that I'd written for the Kindness Matters group, who goes out and talks to high school and junior high groups about extreme bullying and what that can do to another kid. And the movie's going to be incredible. Dan Lennox is the producer, and so the song that I wrote with Marty, that's being used in the movie.
Okay.
And and then so now I'm working on. I've got my 5th movie in the works.
Wow. Do they give you some acting roles too, or is it?
Actually, there's a Western called Destiny that I'm going to be playing a saloon girl who has...
Do they need an old fat guy? Because I could totally fill right in on
You
that.
are neither old nor fat. So, but yeah, I'll see what I can... I'll have my people call
I've
your
always
people
wanted to act.
and see what we can do.
Yeah.
Well, so I've just got a few lines, but mainly I'm going to be a singing saloon girl in that movie. Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yep, and then writing the opening and closing songs.
Y'all can't see her, but she definitely should be on TV. She's a very, very beautiful lady.
Oh, thank you, Josh.
And she sings very well, which y'all will find out throughout the course of the day. We'll play a couple of her songs. And you're talking about being able to use music to help things and people and causes that you love. And a lot of times you hear the word thrown or the phrase thrown around a lot. Music is a gift, or the fact that you're a musician is a gift, or you sing, it's a gift. There's been many times when I've been down on myself where I didn't want to do music anymore. And people were like, oh, you can't not do music. It's a gift. God wouldn't have given you the gift if he didn't want you to use it. And the whole point of that is that it is a gift, but a gift isn't a gift unless it's given. And so I've always thought that there's I don't know if it's an obligation. I don't think it's an obligation for the industry, but I think for me it's a personal obligation that when my music can help and it can be given as a gift, then that's when it's truly being used as a gift.
Exactly.
And if you keep it to yourself, it's not a gift at all.
Exactly.
And so it's really cool when people...
That was very deep, by the way, Josh.
Thank
that
you.
was really...
I can go deep
That
sometimes.
that was really deep. I had to kind of stop my whole inner self-talk there for just a second
Your
and
inner
listen really
dialogue.
close. Yeah. That. But you're exactly right.
Left
In all
brain told right brain,
seriousness,
shut up and listen.
yeah. In all seriousness, you're exactly right. That is true.
And I think I think more people should do that. And I think a lot of people do. I do. And I just think that it's... Yeah, whatever. I said it. I'll just repeat myself if I say it again. But it is a gift, and it's only a gift if it's given. So that's really cool. And we'll talk specifically about some stuff that you got going on as well. Give out your website before I forget to ask you.
Oh, thank you.
I told you I'd forget.
I appreciate that. So the website is just www.susangiacona.com. It's actually in the works right now. There's not that much on it. There's a bio. There's one song. There, and my new web guy I'm super excited about because
I might need one.
He's a guy who he's a genius. So having a web guy that's a genius is really good because that way you don't have to learn all of that yourself, because that's what I was trying to do. And in the music business, you got to be there's obviously the writing, there's the singing, obviously if you're a performer. There's the marketing.
The booking.
There's the booking. There's the legal part of it. There's all kinds of hats you have to wear.
There's the accountant.
The accounting, yep.
You're the buyer and the buyer beware guy. Like you go out and you're like, I really need that. But then, when payday comes or when bills come due, you're like, man, did I really need that?
Exactly. And then if you're a songwriter, it's basically like having a product that has gazillions of possible distribution methods.
It does. It has a gazillion possible yes, it has.
And you have to find the right one.
But then music also in its weird own way, because I've had a lot of friends that are business owners and they all want to approach the music business. It's like, it's just a business, dude. You just your widget's just different than my widget. Here's the difference. When was the last time you actually opened up the door and bought something from a guy that walked up to your door random out of the blue, a solicitor, and just said, hey, do you want to buy this? And music is a lot like that. You're creating something that, one, has never been created before. Two, you don't have your own store. You don't have your brick and mortar place where people come to that store every day looking for a new product from
Right.
you. Eventually, as you get a huge name, that changes, obviously. But as the independent songwriter or the independent artist in general, you're doing basically door knocking. Except usually you don't wake up in time and everybody's at work when you're knocking on the doors. But it's really hard to sell a product that, one, hasn't been invented, like I said, and two, doesn't have its own home. It doesn't have a place people are going to look for it. And a lot of people like to discover new music, but usually they're discovering it from a friend or somebody else that tells them it's cool already. Not many people just go willy-nilly kamikaze style and pick a song on iTunes, buy it, and just hope that it works out for the best.
Right.
Most people are doing it because they heard it somewhere passively or whatever. So it's not the same selling of a widget.
It's not the same at all.
Very multifaceted, for
exactly. Sure. And I have a corporate background. I used to be a marketing communications manager for a huge corporation, and I was a marketing person for another big company before that. So I completely see the difference, and there's no. No, the only similarity that I can possibly say is that having a good product and being good to people and being honest, those are definitely going to come into play again.
If you want longevity, especially.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because there's definitely flash in the pans that people all of a sudden realize either they got swept up in the moment and the music's not really that good after all, or they're assholes. And so they don't want to deal with them anymore. And those people can make it pretty far. You can be a jerk and make it pretty far, but eventually you either get humbled and you figure out, oh, I gotta start being nicer to people if I want to keep going, or you disappear like the rest of them, and or you're just underground. And there's a scene for that. I mean, there's a lot of people out there that love jerks. You know, they want to go out and support a jerk. I'm not one. I wish I was, maybe a little bit, just a little bit, because, you know, I'm that guy that's like, oh, yeah, after you, and then the door shuts, and I go,
yeah, but you know what? There's always a reason for it.
True.
So that just probably meant that particular door wasn't
for
your
me.
door.
It was just the door I was supposed to hold open.
Exactly.
There you go.
Exactly. You were supposed to be at the better door.
I'm
or
glad
the door.
I'm glad you said better door, not back door.
No, the back door.
That's a whole different. That's a whole different story.
I was not even thinking that in the least.
Well, now you will, and so the conversation is just taking a turn for the worse. And I'm sorry, folks, but that's just the way my brain works.
No, I just think that everything happens for a reason. But that is the similarity with any other business is getting out there and meeting people, being good to people, and again having a good product.
And marketing is insanely important and huge.
Marketing is huge.
More than ever. And talking about so many places to distribute your music, that's one part of it. But there's so many places that you have to distribute your marketing. And so not everybody's on every social media platform.
Well, I am now, but only because I was pushed, kicking and screaming. I have a new manager. Her name is Holly Hutchison Weinman, and I don't want to forget her incredible husband's last name there. So yeah, Holly Hutchison.
Man?
Yeah,
sorry, I won't ever forget it either.
It took me a second. Okay, so. Holly's incredible. Holly was with Capitol Records for 30 years, and now I'm just so excited to have her on my team. And she also manages the multi-platinum, multi-Grammy-winning group.
Hold on, wait. Anticipation.
I know.
You're not going to believe the name of this band.
I know.
This is such. I mean, it's making my mouth water. Go ahead.
Okay, stop it because Saliva. And they are just an incredible group of guys, and just real sweethearts. And again, they're heavy metal. So, and she also manages Rachel Lipsky. Rachel is a country rock performer. Rachel actually lives in Nashville. So, Holly has got me on all the social media now. I'm on Pinterest. I'm on Instagram, Twitter, and of course Facebook, personal Facebook, and music page Facebook, which, by the way, my music page on Facebook is Susan Giacona Music. If you care to go there and give me a follow, There is some more exciting stuff coming on down the.
You're a hustler,
down the
baby.
way.
Like there's always something coming down the pipe. That's great. That's good.
It's pretty busy in my world, but yeah, the whole social media thing just you can actually get so sucked up into that you just find yourself just spending hours there in a day. So you have to be careful of that.
And that's not to bring it back to me, but this is Josh Fuller on his own show.
I know. Enough about me, Josh. Let's talk about you.
No. So when I
couldn't reach you, I was going to punch you.
You can't.
I was trying.
She don't have the reach. When I released my second album 2 years ago, I had to get really involved in all that as hardcore as I possibly could because I wanted good results. I had some people that kind of helped me financially. I wanted them to see that I was making a effort to use their money in the best way I could, and so I did that. I had the publicist and I had the distribution label, and I did not have a manager. I've never had a manager, but not by choice. Just they didn't want me, but that's okay. But you work so hard on trying to promote it on social media, on all the little outlets, because then there's all this other little stuff. Like the artist can be engaged with their fans through iTunes now.
Right.
You can be engaged through Spotify.
Yes.
Every little thing that eventually you don't have time to write another song.
Exactly.
You don't have time to book a show. And then you look up, and it happened to me. You look up, and you haven't booked any shows for the next month. Why? Your social media presence is awesome, though.
Right.
And you're getting your charts back, and you're like, oh, yeah, this is great. And then you look at your calendar and go, oh, crap, I'm not going to make any money next month.
Right.
And so it's
definitely a balance.
It's a balance, and I think you need a team. I think
it is
you
a juggling
really,
act.
Really need a team.
Yes.
The people that I've seen that are friends of mine that have kind of elevated to another level. Nobody's truly an independent artist.
No,
that makes it. I mean, if you make it to any level of success where you're making some money and you're doing the thing, you're never truly independent. You may not be on a major record label, but you've got at least a manager that's helping you with some stuff, and you definitely probably have a booking agent that's getting you into all the really cool venues, and but the getting all those little details, like I can be good at one thing for about a week, and then I move on and I'm good at something else the next week. But that other thing that I was really good at a week ago, I just totally forget to do because I don't know if it's just the way my brain works and I get bored with it.
Well, you're multi-talented, so you're just moving on to the next thing.
And I just want to be. I've always just wanted to be the performer guy. Like you handle it, but there's nobody there. It's just you handle this and you handle that. I'm a great delegator, but I don't have anybody to delegate to. And but it'd be great to just be able to. I mean, and I don't think anybody really ever gets to the point where they just show up and be the performer. I think that they still have to. There's so much they have to do, and the bigger you get, the more you have to do, the more things you have to cover.
Right.
You might make more money at the show, but the more people you have to pay. So.
Well, it was funny because Holly became my manager only about 2 months ago. Mm-hmm. So I had all these other projects in the queue. So I can't even tell you how many hours we had to spend just getting her caught up on everything that was going on. Who was doing this, who was already involved, and then she had to read over contracts that were already in place. So there was a lot just to get.
I don't pity the job of a manager. I don't.
Well, and some days there's.
I don't pity. I don't envy.
Envy. It's okay.
I pity.
You pity them.
I totally
and you
pity.
Envy.
What's her name again?
Holly.
Holly, I totally pity your position. I mean, but I don't envy it. I could never. I know I can't do that. That's too much attention to detail. It
is a lot, and as long as she was with Capitol Records, she's great at looking at a contract and just immediately, being able to decipher some things that were in legalese that you didn't necessarily understand.
We're not going to say no green M&Ms, but the yellow one's got to go.
Right.
Yeah. No yellow Starburst either.
Right. Oh no.
I hate yellow Starburst.
I really like. I'm all about the pink.
Mm-hmm.
I really like the pink.
Pink's the best flavor.
Yeah. The red is too sweet for me.
It's got a strong kick at the beginning.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
But yellow, that's just like it's just wax with maybe a little flavor.
Yeah. I'm with you on that.
Yeah. So
the M&Ms don't.
Can you believe Halloween was already a month ago? A whole month ago was Halloween. I can't believe it's. Where is time going?
Josh, I have 3 kids. Mm-hmm. So once Halloween gets here, it is just. it's organized chaos in my world and my head actually right
yeah.
now, because there's just all different things going on at once. I know you have children.
Yep, I got
but,
2.
Yeah, but let's face it, the women make the holidays incredible. I'm not saying that men don't do things. I'm not saying.
We like
and I
the
love
holidays,
my husband.
but we don't make them incredible.
Well,
no, you're right.
And so as far as all the decorating, and I've got my family spoiled because I really, I mean, I love to do it and I go all out, but I'm so short on time right now because I'm so busy that my tree is up, and ordinarily everything would be done. My staircase would be done. My fireplace with the stockings would be hung, but the stockings are not hung yet. Yep. Oh, and then to add to it, we have an elf at my house.
I was going to say,
who must move every night, because if the elf doesn't move and bring a tiny treat the next morning, then there are tears. And what did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? I was good today. I took a bath without fighting about it. I didn't even fuss about taking a bath. Why didn't he move? Those are conversations that happen in my house if the elf doesn't move.
That elf is the bane of my existence. So I don't know who's going to let their kids listen to this. Hopefully not me, since we already cussed twice. But
yours was worse than mine. Your cuss word was worse than mine.
Was it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah. If we're gonna go on like who cussed the worst type thing.
Oh, well, I don't think we're keeping score right now.
Yeah, I was.
We're trying to attract other guests too. Then we want them to know they can come in and say bad words.
Okay.
But they don't have to. No, we will try to keep it as PG-13 as possible. But sometimes it's just the right word for the right emotion. But
or you could do like a little card, like give somebody like a little scorecard where.
Oh, yeah.
They could actually come in with points, and then like the more you cuss, you lose your points at the end.
Or just a swear jar.
That'd be good too. And then you leave here basically with a tip.
Yeah, basically I'm getting tipped to have them as my guest.
You know what? I love this idea.
That's a great idea.
I'm there.
And I can definitely goad people into cussing. That's not a hard thing to do.
Yeah, well, you've almost made me want to cuss several times just in the no, I'm kidding. I love you.
Okay. So this stinking elf, I'm a rule follower. I'm a stickler for rules. And maybe I've just misread the book, but when you get the elf, or when he comes to visit, he comes with a book, and you read the book with your children. And to my memory, this thing is supposed to be a good role model.
Yes.
He goes every night. He reports back to Santa Claus about what your kids did or did not do that day. Or if they have some wishes or some whatever. And then he comes back and he hides because he's a little mischievous, and he hides, and then you repeat the process. But he's supposed to be a good role model.
Right.
So the very first thing that drives me nuts about it is that the popularity of this thing is everybody posting pictures of all the mischievous stuff he's getting into and all the messes he makes and all the...
I'm hoping that they're not actually doing that for their children. I'm hoping that that's just for... social media, funny humor value.
Maybe. Now some of them are a little overboard. Yes.
Some of them are.
Some of them are only for adults to see. That's
right. Speaking of a rating level, yes, actually,
it's
we've only had him do just a few things, and this year he hasn't done anything crazy. Last year he took everybody's stockings down and hung up their underwear instead. So
that's kind of funny. Hold on. I feel like I'm about to sneeze. I'm trying to decide if I want to hit a mute button. I don't have one of them fancy cough buttons like the people in radio studio does. But,
so that's not too bad. That's not too bad.
That's not too bad. That's kind of funny, but
no, you're right. He will not be doing anything naughty. Naughty. He will not be naughty.
Do not be naughty.
No.
So the other thing that was driving me crazy is now my father-in-law is probably going to listen to this show. I should have used a random person, but I didn't. Too late now. So he's doing this elf, and a week before Thanksgiving, he's texting pictures to my kids about his elf. And I'm like, wait a minute. He's supposed to come on Thanksgiving. You're messing up the whole thing. If we aren't united in this effort, then our cover's going to be blown.
Maybe he didn't know. Did he not know?
Well, he's a man.
Or Papa got excited.
Papa didn't read instructions.
Yeah.
He probably didn't read the book.
I mean, is Papa maybe...
That's Papa's. No.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes.
Okay. But he got excited about his elf.
He just got excited. He's involved. But we have to be united in this front.
You're right.
We're going to blow our cover, and then we're going to have a bunch of naughty kids. And so the whole point this is another way to regulate our children's behavior
Yeah.
during the craziest time of the year, which is
Right.
my favorite time of the year. I love the weather. I love the chill in the air. Everything feels different. It feels better. And I know everybody hates the sun going down early, but for some reason, it just dark at 6:30 kind of feels cool. And late and early at the same time. I don't know. It's cool. You can go out with your family, though. You do all this other stuff. You come home, the kids are exhausted, and you're tired, and everybody just wants to go to bed. And it's
Right.
only 7:30.
But your Christmas tree looks awesome.
Yep.
And your Christmas lights outside look awesome
beautiful.
because it got dark at 4:30. You
Right.
know? Yeah.
Right. It's a beautiful time.
Yeah.
Beautiful thing. I do like this time of year, and I didn't realize it. I don't even think I really committed to liking this time of year until this year. Because springtime hit me. I was like, man, because we actually had a little bit of a spring this year, I think, if my memory serves right. And I was like, man, this feels really nice.
Yeah.
And then summer was just kind of summer. But then fall hit, and I'm going, you know what? I like the tween seasons. If it's spring or summer, I'm in. I mean, spring or fall, I'm in. But the middle of winter, bleh. Middle of summer, definitely no way. Down here in Texas.
Yeah, you'd have a hard time in Seattle, I think.
Where it rained all the time?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I wouldn't like it. No, I need sunshine. I like rain too. Sunshine and rain.
Sing it. Do it, Josh.
Joy! There you go.
Give it to me.
I think we should take a break because we've been talking for a long time.
Okay.
And we will play a few of my favorite old Texas tunes. And then when we come back, we're going to play a little bit of one of Susan's songs. And then we'll talk about whatever's on our minds. So we will see y'all in just a little bit.
I got a woman who's wild as wrong. She likes being naked and gazed upon. She crosses a bridge, she sets it on fire. She lands like a bird on a telephone wire. I'm gonna holler and I'm gonna scream. I'm gonna give me some mescaline. And then I'm gonna ride there with gasoline. It's a drunken poet's dream. There's some money on the table and a pistol on the floor. A few paperback books, a little more. Whiskey bottles are scattered like last night's clothes. With cigarettes and papers and Oreos. My harmonica's got a busted reed. My lips are chapped in a back lead. She says that's nothing when she was a kid. She danced with the dead at the pyramids. I'm gonna holler and I'm gonna scream. I'm gonna give me some mescaline. Then I'm gonna rhyme that with gasoline. Some drunken poet's dream. Now I'll never pay back my student loan. Smelling like Coors, cheap cologne. She tells me not to worry about church Monday. She says, time to get in heaven just ain't our way. I'm gonna holler and I'm gonna scream. I'm gonna get me some Escalade. And then I'm gonna rhyme that with gasoline. It's a drunken poet's dream. Whoa. I got a woman who's wild as grown. She likes being naked and gets alone. Little song here about keeping your hands off my Willie. She showed up at my house at 9:30 in a low-cut dress and a bottle of wine. She said this'll be a night you won't forget. She poured us some drinks to get us into the mood. I reached for the lights, she reached for my tunes. She pulled out that red-headed stranger. I stood up and said, don't touch my Willie. I don't know you that well. Help yourself to some Haggard or some Jones. Hell, Lord, anybody else, I don't know what you heard. I ain't that kind of guy. Yeah, so don't touch my Willie. We'll get along just fine. You better keep your hands off my Willie, mama. She said she never met a man like me in her life who wouldn't share his Willie on the very first night. I said it's nothing personal, don't take it so hard. I don't pull out my Willie for just anyone. There's a lot of other records that you can choose from. So let me make myself clear before you go too far. Don't touch my Willie. I don't know you that well. Help yourself to some Haggard or some Jones. Hey, Lord, anybody else, I don't know what you heard. I ain't that kind of guy. Yeah, so don't touch my Willie. We'll get along just fine. Get along just fine. looking for courage at the bottom of a whiskey. I'm gonna need it when the heartache hits me, 'cause there was no changing your mind. And now I'm here alone tonight, and my friends say that I'll be okay, and living without you ain't no big thing anyway. They say it's all for the best, but I've got a feeling I ain't feeling it yet. Where will I be when your goodbye catches up to me? Will I be reaching across the bed where you used to sleep? Where will I be when you cross my mind like you ain't done about 1,000 times? When it knocks me to my knees, holding the broken pieces of me. Where will I be when your goodbye catches up to me? Where will I be? I'm telling myself that I'll be alright, and I've just gotta get on with my life. This breaking up thing ain't the worst part. What's coming next is gonna hit me hard. Where will I be when your goodbye catches up to me? Will I be reaching across the bed where you used to sleep? Where will I be when you cross my mind like you ain't done about 1,000 times? When it knocks me to my knees, holding the broken pieces of me. Where will I be when your goodbye catches up to me? Will I be hearing your name in a crowded room? Will I be watching the game like we used to do? Will I be telling mama, set one less chair for Sunday lunch? 'Cause you won't be there. Where will I be when your goodbye catches up to me? Will I be reaching across the bed where you used to sleep? Where will I be when you cross my mind like you ain't done about 1,000 times? When it knocks me to my knees, holding the broken pieces of me. Where will I be when your goodbye catches up to me? When I see that every day's the same, but everything's changed, where will I be? Oh, where will I be?
So
appreciate
Where Will
it.
I Be is the
Yep.
song we just came back from break on.
Yep.
And I will let you introduce it properly now.
Okay. So I co-wrote that song with Chris Ising, and Chris is in Canada, and we've got several other projects in the works as well. And then another co-writer on that is Marla Rubenstein, and Darren Morris Band cut it. And Darren is an incredible musician, Texas musician. He's from Gilmer.
Okay.
And Texas Country Music Association gave us Single of the Year for that. And that was just a couple of months ago, so we're still riding high on that.
So is Texas Country Music Association, is it voted on by industry people, or is it voted on by fan votes, or is it a little bit of mixture of both?
Let's see. Well, first of all, I didn't even realize that it was in the running.
Okay.
They pulled it because they actually entered it because they loved it, and
Okay.
it was playing on Texas radio.
Right.
And it's still playing on Texas radio every now and then. Awesome. But yeah, at the time it was really getting up there on Texas radio.
Okay.
So out of 20,000 songs, they do a top 5, and it's voted on by members of the TCMA.
Okay.
And so then top 5, all people in the categories show up at the show, and you have no idea if you're going to win until you get there.
Is that nerve-wracking, or were you kind of like, if we win, great, if not?
You know,
Or did
in
you
all
like
honesty,
get there and you're like, oh, my heart's beating so fast it's going to pop out my chest?
Okay. In all honesty, I was excited that out of 20,000 songs, it was top 5.
Right.
So just being there, plus I bought a really, really, really cute new outfit and some new boots that were silver and had sequins and all that.
So it was a good excuse to go shopping.
Yeah, it was a good reason to get a new outfit. So that's all good. Had my children looking fine in their little outfits. My whole family was there. My in-laws.
What are
and all
their
that.
ages?
They are spread out.
Spread out. Okay, we won't go any further.
And none of them are accidents. But the baby is 5.
Okay.
And that's who we were just talking about, that he's just really into the whole Elf on the Shelf thing.
Yes.
But yeah, so just being there was just really cool, and enjoying that moment with Darren was cool.
Can you remember any of the other songs in the top 5?
In all honesty, I don't. You know what?
See, there you go.
I don't.
You had the best song of them all.
I don't remember the other, but I know that they were incredible.
They had to have been to be picked out of that many songs.
It was a real honor, and I was saying that Linda Wilson, the president of the TCMA, just works so hard and does so much for musicians. And so this year, I am committing to helping with the event and really getting more involved. Because it's a
lot of energy, don't
it's
you?
a really good group. Yes, actually, I probably maybe have a little bit too much energy for some people's liking. But
I envy it. I envy the energy, but I just
I'm
I
getting
hear all the
stuff
things you're
done.
involved. Yes, and it's amazing. I want to be. I wish I could be that person. That's just. It's not my.
Sleep is way overrated. No, I'm kidding. Sleep sleep is very, very, very important. I'm totally kidding. Sleep is really, really, really important.
Many years in retail as a manager, salaried manager, and then doing the music thing, I went a long time without sleeping. And I think now that I've gotten older and I've kind of some things have slowed down for me, I'm like, I'll sleep. I'll let the young people with the energy do it.
Well, probably when I was a kid, I was probably be considered a little hyper. Yeah. And I always used to get the code on your report card for talking too much.
Yes.
It was a 9.
Wow.
9 is talks too much.
Okay.
But then I ended up being a marketing communications manager for 2 big corporations and writing music. So it kind of goes hand in hand, right?
Yeah, you found the career that matched your personality. That's
right.
important.
I found a career that matched my problem. I'm kidding.
No,
I didn't consider it a problem. Only the teachers did.
I wouldn't even say that you were kidding on that. That has to be true, though. I mean, I have a lot of problems, and I haven't found a job that'll fix any of them yet. But so I got a nice birthday present from my father-in-law.
What
last
did you
night.
get, Josh? Please tell me about it.
A nice bottle of Maker's 46. And so now we are sampling a little bit of this Maker's 46 to kind of lighten the mood. It is Wednesday. It's the middle of the day in the middle of the week. And as you guys know, I try to keep the drinks deep and the conversations shallow.
Oh,
now, we've had some...
Did you make that up?
I did. We've had some deep
That's
conversation
good.
today. But that's why we're drinking deep drinks now.
I
I've got to make up for it. Because I'm way better at shallow conversation than deep conversation.
I don't know. That little ditty that you put out earlier with the whole music is a gift and it's not a gift till you give it away and all that. Oh, that makes me want to write something about that.
I keep
That's
that
good.
in my back pocket for when I need to sound smart, when smart people are with me.
Well, you've completely got me fooled because I think you're
I'm a really deep
genius
person when I have to be.
I think you are. I think you're hiding
I think that's
underneath
what's
that
weird.
hat.
That's what's weird about my songwriting style. So I don't have. I'm either writing about drinking and it's just kind of like, blah, I got drunk, or if I write a ballad, it's very deep. People die. It sucks, right? I mean, it's good. But it also sucks at the same time because of how deep it is. I can never have like just a ballad that's kind of it's slow, but it's still not talking about something that's so deep that it just makes you cry. But I think I have this personal mission to make my mom cry when I write a song. And if my mom cries, I know it's a good one.
Oh, wow,
and so
yeah.
every time I write a song, I try to make sure that it'll make my mom cry.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why. It's kind of, why would you want to make your own mama cry? I don't know.
Okay, well, and then just let me throw as a mama, okay, so just hearing your baby boy sing is one thing. And that'll make you cry right there. And then hearing your baby boy sing that he made up on his own.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in the back seat of my car the other day, there was a song about macaroni and cheese going on.
Yeah.
And I was just, that is so cute. Not to say that I'm sure it's not incredible, but
Right.
I am saying that your mama is your mama's your mama.
She's my mama.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
You ever test things out on your kids?
yes, my oldest son's he's into pop, hip hop. He's into whatever. He likes country too. Like if I play Johnny Cash, he loves Johnny Cash or whatever. But he's doing YouTube videos, action videos, and all that. And so most of those action videos that he watches on YouTube have like
Right, that was
all
good.
that good stuff. And so he's I don't know. He has a very good taste for music, but he likes a wide variety of music. So when I'm trying to write a fun, funny, upbeat song, I'll run it by him. But the slow stuff, they tune out. I mean, you're trying to get to the major point, the plot twist, the whatever, the
Right.
payoff.
Right.
And by then, they're back to playing with their toys and they're done. But
Yeah.
so I saved that one for my wife. But I heard a good quote on a podcast today, and it was saying, never let them, your significant other, I think they may have been talking more on the boyfriend, girlfriend level, but I think even in marriage level it would work too. But never let them see your notebook. In other words, never let them see your unfinished stuff. And also I heard, never let a non-artist tell you how to do your art. And so there's a lot of things that I read stuff like that. And I'm like, oh man, I do that though. Like I let all kinds of people influence. Like, whether I think something of mine is good.
as a musician though, because you have a never-ending, incurable inferiority complex.
Yes.
Nothing's ever good enough. It's never finished. You could have done it better.
Right.
Blah blah blah. I just had this conversation with Holly, my manager, yesterday.
Holly and I would get along good. If
Oh my
Holly
gosh!
gets anybody
So
else
Holly,
on her roster.
Holly is part therapist, part manager.
Yeah.
And so I need to start warning her like which hat she needs to wear whenever I call her.
There you go. So this is sad Susan calling, and
Right? No, not necessarily. Not sad. Just very very contemplative. Like when you got something running through your head,
Oh, yeah.
and you want to share the deep thoughts. Your deep
Jack
thoughts
Handy.
with Jack Handy.
Yeah.
Yes.
making sure all our buttons are on. That's why I'm looking away from you.
Yeah. So I don't see walking away up there, which is our Texas battleship.
That's gonna be up there in a second.
Okay.
I had to take it. Actually, where did it go? Yeah, I had it up there, but we have to re-queue it.
Okay.
Maybe we'll do that from coming back from a break again.
Okay. Well, you've got quite a NASA. Looks like you're going to launch a spaceship over there.
I am. I have it targeted right at Kim Jong-un right now.
Oh.
Yeah. Right over his head, but right over his head's only like 3 feet high.
Right.
So.
Oh, but
Just a little joke.
Wish I had a.
Let's get back to your award real quick. So I didn't mean to get us necessarily off pace with that. So we've talked about Darren Morse was the singer.
The Darren Morse Band.
Darren Morse Band. So are they strictly regional now, or are they touring nationally?
They are in the process of getting things together to tour nationally. I know that they're all over Texas right now. So they've really had some good things happen here in the last, just about the last year,
And
actually.
have you gotten a chance to go see them perform your song live?
Oh, listen, last year at Rodeo, Houston Rodeo, if you're listening to this and you don't know about Houston Rodeo, it is just the most incredible event you can ever go to.
Well,
I mean,
the station owner, Chris, wanted me to make sure that I made a point about speaking about Texas sports, Texas music, and, of course, Texas barbecue.
yeah,
Because each one of those are equally important to a Texan.
absolutely.
So good job bringing in the barbecue angle. Chris will really like that.
Well, listen, the or Houston Rodeo is quite an event. The food and the music and everything. Okay, so every night after the rodeo, there is a place on the rodeo grounds called the Hideout. And it's the party after the party. So if you don't feel like going home, you go to the Hideout. And it ends up being just wall-to-wall people. And I think we might have actually broken the fire code last year. Darren played Where Will I Be? And then he played another one of mine that he's cut called That First I Love You. I wrote that with a guy named Kevin Rowe.
Okay.
And so that was really awesome to hear several thousand people cheering for your song. I'm not going to lie to you. That was really, really cool.
Yeah.
And watching people dance to your song and loving on each other on the dance floor to your song and all that. I love it. I love it.
So I'm going to get the song wrong. Let me try to remember how it goes. Man, I'm going to have to think about it more. I had only because it coincides with the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo and all that. But I don't want to say the wrong name of the song or else I look like an idiot. But basically, Cody Johnson he got that last-minute call to go play at the rodeo.
Uh-huh.
And I've known Cody for years. I've known Scooter Brown for years. And some other people, Josh Ward for years. We all kind of had our own little thing going on in Conroe way before we all had our bands. And so people were sending video of Cody playing at, obviously the biggest stage in the world, in my opinion. And he was playing a song that Scooter Brown helped him write. And so everybody was videotaping it and sending it back in. And the whole crowd is just cheering, singing along to this song.
It's a cool feeling.
You can't, I didn't have any part of writing that song, and I still got goosebumps and holy cow, what an awesome experience. Because I've heard that song long before, 10 years ago I heard that song.
Right.
But it took that long, but it was still really cool. So I can only imagine hearing your own song being sung to a really, obviously, it sounds cocky. I play for some big crowds. I think 2,600 is probably my max, that crowd size that I played for. But they don't know my song. They're kind of just stuck there because I was the opening act and they're waiting for the big guy and they don't want to lose their spot, so you're there. But I do have one song called Heart On, and it's a double entendre song, and it's about wearing your heart on your sleeve, but it obviously don't sound like that. And it's a callback song, so you say one thing, the crowd says something back, they say Heart On back. And we were opening for Aaron Watson at Stampede Houston, and it was 2,600 people there when we were playing, and then it's 2,800 when he took the stage. Massive crowd, but he always has a massive crowd. But that song, since I get to tell the people in the instructions, they have to sing back. And I had this captive audience. It's like fish in a barrel.
Right.
And so I had 2,600 people yelling Hard On at the top of their lungs. And that is always a cool experience.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You can't argue that. And I'm known as the Hard On guy in some circles.
Well,
I could have a worse reputation.
Have you sang that one for your mom?
Yeah, she's heard it.
Okay.
I didn't sing it for her, but she's heard it.
Oh, bam.
She's heard it. So, yeah, my mom said that today's my birthday for folks who don't know. But
That's right. Happy birthday, Josh.
Thank you very much. So my mom sent me a text this morning and said, happy birthday, love you bunches, you're 21 plus shipping and handling.
Yeah.
I was like, I love it. I'm 21 plus shipping and handling. Actually, I don't mind being the age I am. I hated turning 40. Hated it. Hit me like a ton of bricks. I did not realize when I turned 40 that my psyche would be screwed up. But it really affected a lot of me and what I think about life and just a lot of things, my priorities and all this other stuff. I wasn't expecting that, and I wasn't expecting how much my body hurts either. But I made it through that year, and now I'm into my 40s, right? Mm-hmm. I'm feeling pretty good. I got some cool stuff going on. You know? I've got
smarter.
I got the music. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, everybody.
Smarter.
Yeah, well, of course you're smarter.
I guess technically, scientifically, you have to be. Right?
Yeah. Well.
But
it's
my choice not to use some of that smartness. I like to use my smartness in jokes and being a smart aleck. But yeah. So yeah, but no, I've got some cool stuff going on. I'm still playing music. I'm still out there. As a matter of fact, before I forget, I will be at Pacific Yard House in Conroe on Friday, which is going to be an acoustic show, and it's free, not a nothing zilch. It's just show up. Free shows are great. A lot of people support me when it's a free show, and and then Thursday I'm in Tomball for the open mic night again. So that's where I'll be this weekend before I forget. But anyway, so I have this. I have my woodworking business, which is going pretty decent. And then I have this new radio show gig.
You've made some incredible things with your woodworking.
Thank you.
Wow, that's you're very artsy. Oh my God,
Artsy.
You're very artsy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm a late bloomer. I've always been artsy. I like artsy better than artistic, but I grew up on a farm, and my dad, who's probably listening, I love you, Dad. My dad was, he wanted me to work. He didn't want me being distracted by artsy things. And so those things always had to take a really far back burner. And then later,
but now
later
you're
in life,
in your 40s,
yeah.
so you get to decide that for yourself.
Decide what the hell
See,
I wanna
another
do.
benefit of being in your 40s.
But in his defense, when I turned 18, he bought me a guitar. He succumbed to the pressures. But no, he bought
probably
it.
because he didn't want you mowing his yard anymore. He
Probably,
really
I
wants
sucked
you.
at it.
Yeah.
We had dirt. We didn't even have grass. But it was a guitar from a pawn shop. It was it got the job done and the juices flowing. And now look at
you now.
Look at me now.
Look at you now.
Couldn't have done it without the first guitar.
We did one little brief stage performance together down at the Redneck Country Club.
Yes, we did.
We did Amazing Grace together.
Mm-hmm.
It was amazing.
Grace.
And you showed grace.
Well, and for you guys have probably heard me talk about the Redneck Country Club quite a bit, but I had a lot of memories made there. But this was one of them too. But every night they closed the show with Amazing Grace.
Yes, I love that.
And so when you heard we were playing there, and you asked if you could do it, and I was like, absolutely, because I still don't even have the words memorized. So it was great. No, you did a great job. Did we play with you as a band, or did you do it more a cappella?
No, we played together. We did, and we ended up doing together. And I did. You did lead.
Yes.
And I, yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay. It's been a long time. I've slept many times since then.
Actually, the Redneck Country Club is opening up for us on a night that they're usually closed for our Wheelchairs for Warriors event on May 21st.
Awesome.
So come out, because I'll be performing a song that I wrote called Still a Hero. Wrote that with a beautiful lady named Cynthia Ford Dixon. And that's May 21st at the Redneck Country Club.
Awesome.
Go help us get these very, very expensive titanium state-of-the-art wheelchairs for these guys.
That's really cool. Good
Yeah.
job. That's one thing I like about that venue as well too, is if you're a legit cause and especially if it's for veterans or if it's for the military at all or first responders. If they can, they will jump on board with you on that, and they're very supportive of that. So, but that's cool. Some titanium wheelchairs.
Oh,
huh?
listen, and these things, they start at $50,000 because they, if a person is, well, they're all electronic.
Okay. Yeah.
And even if they're a quadriplegic, they are so advanced that they can move them with eye movement.
So each one's pretty much custom made.
Custom made.
Yeah, you can't
Custom
buy those
made.
things used.
Ergonomically correct.
Uh-huh.
Their exact measurements are taken for them. How long it is from their hip bone to their knee and all these
whatever,
things.
yeah.
It's lots of
different for everybody.
It's lots of very high tech measurements and high tech manufacturing that goes into these.
Awesome. So while I got you here, if somebody out there has been looking for something like Wheelchairs for Warriors, where do they find info around that?
Well, the website is www.wheelchairs, just simply the word wheelchairs for FOR warriors.com.
For all my redneck buddies, that's not Will, W-I-L-L. That's W-H-E-E-L. Chairs.
Wheelchairsforwarriors.com.
I've got some friends of mine that they're awesome. They just, sometimes you got to spell stuff out for them.
That's all right. You know what? I don't mind. I don't mind
Especially
spelling
in Texas.
out.
When I help my little boy with his spelling words, I have to be careful. Like I say, spell asleep. He's like, you. I'm like, no, asleep.
Asleep. Well, it's still asleep. It's the A is the
But
but what
it's
cracks
so
me up
funny.
is Siri thinking that every now and then. And, of course, since I also do voiceovers, I don't have a really heavy accent.
Right.
But I guess when I'm just talking to Siri and I'm just in a real relaxed, just trying to get a text done.
Just trying to get an Uber because you drank too much.
Exactly. And it comes up with, I say, the other day I said something like, my something, and it came out May something. It was just not at all what I said.
Where do we go from here? Do you think, because obviously we could have never pictured where we are technology-wise today. So Siri, Alexa, and whatever Google's name is, it's just Google, right?
Right.
It's real creative. So where do our houses go from here? Like, do you think there's going to be, how you watch like Back to the Future and you walk in, you're like, lights on, and start off with the clapper, right?
Right.
But so are we going to just be like, I don't know, like, I'm trying not to get too dirty on this. So a dirty thought crossed my mind as I was going to talk about something generic. But anyway, so like you come home and let's just say it's date night, you know, and you come home and like, hey Siri, like give me some Barry White.
Yeah.
Is your house just going to be like playing Barry White? And then like boom, you got some purple light in the room and the fireplace comes on. I guess it could be like, you can program it.
You can do that now,
Oh,
actually.
See, I'm in this all technologically unadvanced house. No wonder my, never mind.
Yo.
So,
you know what? You
I was trying to take that somewhere further, and then I decided to back off.
Yeah.
But yeah.
because you're trying to keep it PG-13, right?
Yeah, just PG-13. I am thinking about having another podcast, though, where it's just kind of like
Do whatever. Yeah.
It's going to say explicit right there. Enter at your own risk.
All right.
And
Well, you know, I don't even know what to follow that up
you
with.
don't have to
But
follow it. Because the reason I want to is my band and I are just kind of stupidly nuts with our humor and our jokes and our banter. And we've known each other forever. You know, the bass player is the new kid in the band. And he's been with me for 8 years. But before a show, it's juvenile. It's sophomore humor is maybe given a little too much credit. It's just juvenile. Excuse you.
Excuse me.
So
I did not cough into the
no,
into your
not
mic.
not into the
I'm
microphone.
I'm keeping your mic germ free.
That's awesome.
You know.
But anyway, our humor is just hilarious, and we're at the
To you.
to the whole band. Actually, people will
Sorry.
gather around and listen to us talk.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
In amazement.
Yeah, in amazement.
Yeah.
Because I'm not the one talking; it's them.
Okay.
But the the jokes. So we try to one up each other on punchlines. You know, we'll give a typical joke, and then there'll be a punchline, and then somebody else will be like, "Oh, or it's this or this," and then we go off on these random bunny trails. It's crazy, but it's a lot of fun. And when we were at the RCC last week, getting ready to open for Corey Morrow, we were just in rare form, and I was like, man, if I just had a microphone, this would be freaking gold. It's hilarious stuff. So I'm gonna try to do that.
Well, part of that is probably excitement and nerves and maybe a couple cocktails
I don't know
and
if it's nerves.
well, to me, I don't care who it is. I think probably everybody has just a teeny tiny bit of nerves going out on stage every time.
I don't have any nerves until I guess, until everybody says, "Okay, Josh, let's go." And it's usually I hope my guitar's in tune. I hope the microphone's really turned on. I don't. But with the band that I have, I think we're all so comfortable with each other. I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe everybody does have a little bit of nerves.
Do you have more nerves when you're on stage by yourself than you do when it's a group?
I used to. Here's when I have nerves. If you invite me to karaoke night, I will be the scaredest little baby you ever saw when I get on that stage.
Why is that?
Because I don't have my guitar.
Oh.
I'm not playing it in my key or my time.
Oh,
or
okay.
You know, I can't change the feel of the song on a whim.
Right.
By playing the guitar a little bit different. I'm completely vulnerable, and I'm completely at the mercy of whatever studio recorded their version of this song. And you don't know if the harmony vocals are going to be right. You know, 'cause a lot of times the harmonies are kind of weird. And it's just I'm completely out of my element.
That's funny.
So usually, since I'm already out of my element, I won't sing a country song at karaoke. I can sing anything but. I'll sing Def Leppard. I'll sing I'll do Guns N' Roses and Poison at my own show. But I'll do like a Motley Crue. Well, I'll do Motley Crue at my own show too. Metallica maybe sometimes, or I'll just go out with I like big butts. You know?
And you can't lie.
Yeah, I can't lie. Well, who wants to lie about that?
Right. I don't want you to lie about that.
That's a good thing.
Tell me the truth.
Right. But, you know, like Taco Tuesday. Rich O'Toole, who everybody out there in the Texas music world knows, loves tacos and big butts. He tweets about them all the time. And yesterday he said, why does it have to be Taco Tuesday? I mean, tacos taste just as good on a Wednesday.
Absolutely.
And I tweeted him this. I said, tacos, like music, should never be in a metaphorical box. You should have them whenever you want, you know. And that's deep too.
That is deep.
It's really deep. But tacos or Whataburger. You had to choose which one. What are you taking? And you can't say breakfast tacos from Whataburger.
Oh man.
That's what I thought.
You know what? I'm going with the Whataburger, okay?
Okay.
Because I don't really eat fast food, so that would be a real treat for me.
Okay.
Having a Whataburger, and a Whataburger's a good burger.
It is, especially.
And I want the
late.
onions. I want the onions.
Yeah, grilled?
If you don't want to kiss me after I've had the onions, that is completely your
can't
choice.
be friends.
That's right. That's right.
If you won't
That's
kiss
right.
me after I eat onions, we can't be friends.
That's right. Well, because I'm having the onions on my Whataburger.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's
Yeah.
not
But
a
chopped
Whataburger without-
onions. Yeah, not
You
just
don't grill 'em?
onions.
You
They're
don't grill
chopped
'em?
onions, huh?
You don't want them grilled?
You can't get them grilled at
Sure you
Whataburger. You
can.
can get your onions grilled on a
Yes, you
Whataburger?
can.
What?
Yes.
Get out.
Just tell him I want my onions grilled.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yep.
That's not really a real Whataburger, though. So,
It
should
is. It's
don't
my
you need to have
Whataburger.
that kind of sting
Can we
when
have
it
it
goes?
our way, or is that Burger King?
That's
Oh.
yeah. That's not even actual beef. I don't think.
It
Not
may
that I
not-
don't love Burger
may
King,
not
because if
be.
they wanted to use one of my songs for a commercial, I
Yeah.
love them. I love
They
them.
could have
but
a song like, "Well, it ain't
Yeah.
really beef, but you can eat it anyway."
No.
The grilled onions are great, man.
Okay, I didn't know that.
You got to get the grilled onions and some jalapenos.
Oh well, jalapenos, yeah.
Yeah.
But
well, you
to
can't
me,
have in Texas everything just should come standard with jalapenos. I think.
because a real Whataburger has got to have so many onions on it that it almost kind of stings.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah. It burns your eyes as you bite it.
a little bit, yeah,
All right.
a little bit.
So here's the Texas question of the day: What a burger? What burger? What do you go with?
Whataburger. I'm Whataburger.
You're a Whataburger.
Whataburger. I didn't realize it, but I do say I don't say Whataburger.
Yeah.
No, my real. If I'm just saying it, it's water. Oh,
Whataburger.
I am such a Texan
Yeah. Hey, that's good though. You passed.
to
right?
the bone.
Texan to the bone.
Yep.
Gotta be. All right, so I have this theory on tacos, though. You can tell how drunk somebody is by what tacos they say they are eating. All right, so if they are at a Mexican restaurant, at Lupe Tortilla, and they're eating tacos, no big deal. It's happy hour.
I can't wait to hear. I'm literally on the edge of my seat. I cannot wait to get to the end of this.
Like
Because I want to hear
Yeah.
what.
Okay, so and I may get it wrong, but I have a theory. So anyway, so you're at happy hour, you're eating tacos, no big deal. You're at Lupe or whatever. Next would be the Taco Bell, 11 o'clock. You left the bar a little early. Got other things going on. You're not completely wasted, but, you've had a few.
And of course, you wouldn't be driving either, because you're going to have your Uber.
You had your Uber
or your
pull over.
designated driver go through.
Exactly.
Right.
You're drunk enough you can't drive, but you're not wasted.
Okay.
And you want tacos, of course. Who doesn't? And so you go to Taco Bell. Someone posted they're eating Jack in the Box tacos. It's 3 a.m. They don't know where the hell they are, and they don't know how they're getting home.
Yeah.
But they know that they wanted tacos, and now they're eating Jack in the Box tacos. So now that's your level of drunkenness on the taco scale.
On exactly where your taco comes from.
Right.
The origin of your taco.
The origin of your taco.
tells-
That's the fuller taco scale. Oh, wait. No. There's another one.
Okay.
If you're eating at 5 a.m. at Whataburger, breakfast tacos, then you haven't even been home yet.
Well,
But
yeah.
you got to get some sustenance before you go to work because you just decided that you're not even going to sleep tonight.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
That's bonus points.
That person is probably he's been out so long that now he's not even
just tired.
inebriated anymore.
Right.
He's
just
tired. Yeah.
He's just tired
Yeah.
and needs something to get to work.
Because the choice of a Whataburger taco is
A way better choice.
exactly.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
they've got their cognitive thinking skills back.
Right.
Cognitive is my word of the
I
day.
know. Can you spell that?
Okay. Yes, of course I can.
All right. Well, you can spell it later for me
Cog.
when we're not we're not on the air.
Yes,
It
exactly.
does not start with a K. I'll just help you out. I'll start you off on that.
Cognitive. Yep. I'm actually a decent speller. You can't tell by the way I talk. In fact, I'm decent at grammar, but you can't tell by the way I type. So or talk. My wife, when she went to junior high, I have known her since high school, not junior high. She went to junior college, and all her softball teammates would love when I would come up because I had gotten really behind, and I was homeschooled, and I'd gotten really behind in my grammar and English. So having spent a whole year just on grammar and English to catch up. And so I was kind of like really good at it for a while. And now I've gotten older and I've lost a lot of it. But so I'd go up to visit, and they'd all bring me their papers. Will you edit this? Will you proofread this? Will you?
Really?
And I just like, I just put red ink all over the place. And but yeah, they love me for it. And I got them all good grades by editing their papers for them. So it's pretty cool.
Wow.
Yeah. I was the unexpected nerd, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know what you want to call that.
Well, I can't relate to that because I was really good at my writing classes, so I didn't.
I
have
would
anybody
imagine
else.
with your field in marketing. promotions. That's probably a good skill to have.
Yes, it was very, very, very good.
Very good skill to have.
Yes.
So, real quick, a reminder: this show is every Wednesday, 1 to 3. If you get the TuneIn app, you can listen to, search for KTXF, The Real. And if you want to participate in our show, you can text us at 832-910-7359. You can go to Susan's Facebook page and my Facebook page. We have the number posted so that if you can't write it down right now, then that's fine. But if you're listening to the podcast version of this, you can text, but we won't know what the hell you're talking about because most of the texts go to the same place as everybody else on KTXF. So if they're having a sports show and you're asking them about music, they probably won't know the answer. But or if you're asking about a song we just played, that might get really confusing. So make sure that you tune in live if you want to participate. Now, we're going to switch gears and go back to something that we were starting to talk about, and that is the project you're doing for the Battleship Texas.
Yes.
So let's play a little snippet of a song that you wrote for that effort, right?
Sure. I think you're just going to
Introduce
play. This is basically our raw mix right now. It has not been mixed, but yes, we're going to play the chorus on Walking Away from Heaven. Hit it.
And he was walking away from heaven to fight the fury of hell. Determined and bold, he knew deep in his soul he'd be back with a story of victory to tell. He loved his country and he loved her too. Leaving was breaking her heart. He said, I'm doing it for us. I'm doing it for you. I'm doing it for the red, white, and
So that was our project. That's just, I guess we could say it's still in the works. We filmed 2 days on the Battleship week before last, and basically what happened was the Battleship Texas. I'm sorry, what?
I was going to do the cliche. What happened was. Everybody does it now, so it's not as funny. Well, it's funny to you. That's good. There you go.
Completely unexpected.
I'm noticing that my drink is way emptier than your drink.
Right, because, yeah. So the Battleship Texas was looking to do an international PR campaign, and I was contacted by them to ask them if I would write a song for them for their campaign. And obviously, I was excited about that, and we met, and then I thought, I already have something that might be something that they would like, and I was just trying to get a feel for what they wanted, and I let them hear a song called Walking Away from Heaven, and they loved it, and so I basically tweaked the lyrics to go with their idea of what they wanted to do, their purpose there.
Right.
But basically, the message of the song is the same, and the message of the song stayed that the sacrifices that our military make, those who serve, those are always at the forefront, and the sacrifices that the family makes is also something to be acknowledged.
It is, and it's something that you want to say is forgotten, but it's not. But you don't hear enough praise for the families and what they're having to go through, because obviously the sacrifice. If someone does the ultimate sacrifice and they die, their suffering part for that person is over, but their family lives with it forever. Now if you're wounded really badly, that's a totally different scenario. I mean, everybody's still suffering for a long time, but I think the families definitely don't get the recognition for what they go through. That's got to be just incredibly hard. I've lost loved ones, but not tragically like that.
Right.
Not in such a way that's
right.
like them being in the military and losing it. while fighting or whatever?
So they, like I said, they loved it, and I was on a plane to Nashville, and I spent 2 hours basically just asking for the right words to really tell this story fully. And when that plane landed, I felt so good about it that as soon as I had a connection, a phone connection, I was texting Bruce Bramlett, who's the executive director of the foundation, and I still laugh at this because I was so excited. I said, Bruce, I've been on a plane to Nashville, and for the last 2 hours, I've been redoing the lyrics to really fit your message with the ship, and I'm so excited. I can't wait for you to hear. And just this text goes on and on and on about how excited I am, and it sounds like this teenager, who just discovered, I don't know, some new something or other at the mall, and so I'm laughing to myself thinking, because I had just met him at the time. So after I hit send, I'm thinking, he is probably wondering what he has gotten himself into, because I just sent him this text that was so long.
Yeah.
But it turns out that he was really excited, that I was excited, and he couldn't wait to hear it.
How can you not? Yeah, when someone's really excited about something, then it's hard to not get on board with it. I remember being a kid, and I'd finally come up with a good idea or something that I thought would maybe be a good chore, so I could earn money, so I could buy this or get that. And I'd go and I'd give my mom my sales pitch. I'd be so excited. And my mom would always be like, if you go tell your dad exactly what you told me in the exact same way, I don't see how he could say no. And then I'd go and I'd be so nervous I could never be like, hey, I had this cool idea, and I don't know, maybe I could do this and you could pay me. And he'd be like, I don't think that's a good idea.
You need to work on your pitch.
Yeah, you need to work on your pitch. But I used it all up on one person, on my
that's
mom.
funny. That's funny.
So, but when you are excited about something and you're 100% sold out to it, everybody wants to jump on board with that. How can they not?
Well, and I felt so good about it because I was just, it was already almost there anyway. And so then I let him hear it, and he loved it, and I went and sang for the board of directors, and they loved it, and they voted on it. The city of LaPorte got involved. I went and sang for the mayor and the city council of the city of LaPorte, and with no music, by the way. And so I'm explaining the storyboard. So we've got Kyle Hutton doing the production on the music video.
Very cool.
Real Content Solutions is his company, and so basically the song is an officer saying goodbye to his family as he's shipping out for World War II.
Okay.
And the first day of the shoot was me singing the song as myself, the artist, Susan Giacona. And then the next day, I'm in all 1941 outfit, clothes, hair, makeup.
Fun.
I mean, just everything. And then with my military husband, we had a little boy, he was 7, who played our little boy. He was in little suspenders and a little beanie cap. Oh, he was so cute. He did a great job. And, so the 2 days of filming, it was a lot of work, but it was good. The weather held out.
Sweet.
Everybody's tempers stayed strong, and we had a lot of people taking pictures of us that were tourists on the ship.
Didn't know what was going on.
Didn't know what was going on, but
hey,
here
take
we're
pictures like they're saying bye to each other.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be released at the beginning of January.
Okay.
And so we're all in the editing phase right now.
Awesome.
And it's a great way to make a living, man. I'm telling you.
So. Is it raising? Is it going to be used to be raising money, or?
It's a couple different purposes. I mean, they already have about 300,000 people come through the ship every year, and so it's to raise awareness for the tourism aspect, and then to also raise awareness for the fact that the ship is in need of repairs.
Again, I remember as a kid, there's this big drive where you took your Coke cans and you had to. Like, you bought the Coke can, then you donated the Coke can back, and and then our kids' minds were like, they're going to take all these cans and just patch it. This is going to look ugly.
Oh, that's what y'all thought?
Yeah,
we
that's had no
cute.
idea what they were, because we were just too young to get our mind around it.
That's funny. So, well, it's in salt water, and so that salt water is brutal. And they're going to be raising awareness to encourage the state of Texas to, instead of spending money to scrap the ship, which would cost millions and millions and millions of dollars to scrap it, why not take those same millions of dollars and put it with the funds of people who love the ship and who understand that it's a veterans memorial and all of this, put it together and fix what needs to be fixed. Right. So it really only kind of makes sense to me.
With it being a memorial and part of our history, and
it's not just Texas history. Right. Now there were guys from all over the country on that ship.
Exactly. Yeah. I think that I can get behind that 100%. There's a lot of things that people try to keep around that don't need to be around anymore, and it just costs dollars and more dollars than it makes sense to have around. Even if you fixed it once, it'd have to be fixed again. But our military tributes and our memorials and all that it's a different story. Like those things, we need to keep them forever, as long as we can, at least.
With regard to it being a nationwide memorial, that ship, I've learned so much because I've done all this research, things I didn't know before. I mean, you learn about World War II. Well, and I know ship. I know all about ship now. This ship, anyway. So it left out of Maine in 1941, out of Maine, to enter into World War II.
Wow.
Yes. So it's a nationwide memorial.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
That happens to sit in Texas.
Right. And be named after Texas.
Right. So
I think I have been there. Actually, you know what? I don't think I've been to actual Battleship Texas. When I was a kid,
you have not toured the ship?
Listen, when I was a kid, it was getting remodeled and redone. So we never went as a kid.
Really?
And then when we went down there, we'd go to unless it's in the same place, I don't think. No, it's not. So we would go to the island that has the submarine and has another ship there, but I don't think that's the Battleship Texas itself. I don't think I've ever actually seen.
Okay.
I suck
okay. Well, you need to take your boys.
I will. Well, my boys have been.
Oh, they've been. Oh, because they've been on a school field trip.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I just kind of got robbed of that little era in time where I could have gone on, where I could have been forced to go.
Okay. Oh, and it's funny about the school thing. My middle boy's school is they're doing a spring break trip where they're making several different stops, and so one of their things is they'll be gone for almost all the spring break, but they're going to tour the Battleship, and got a email about the whole trip that said, your child, this is mandatory, you have to be at this meeting for your child to go. So I'm emailing the teacher going, well, speaking of the Battleship, because it's about the Battleship Texas has licensed my song, and I'm on the ship for 2 days with a production crew, and it's been planned for months, and blah 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 blah.
Right.
There's schedules involved, and da da da. So that the irony of that was just kind of funny. That it is kind of interesting. But yeah, so my kids, the little one hasn't seen it, but the two older ones have, and they will definitely. I want them to spend the night on the ship. I want them to understand what it was like to sleep on a 2-inch thick cot
with walls that are only like as big as your body, if nothing else, and the hallways
are tiny, but it was more of a group thing. There were lots of people in one room. So did you know that there were 22 films shot on that ship,
really?
Including Pearl Harbor.
Okay.
The movie Pearl Harbor. When I did the private tour with Candace, the tour guide down there, and the Bruce Bramlett, the executive director, they took us to all the places where some of the famous movie scenes, and so we were in the infirmary where Ben Affleck had one of his famous scenes, and the area where Cuba Gooding Jr. did his thing with the guns and all this. So
did they do the actual scenes in the ship, or did they just kind of do the B-roll on the ship and then do the actual scenes in studio with recreations?
You're asking me questions on that. I don't know, but I can tell you that a lot of the scenes were actually on the ship.
That's pretty cool.
On the ship.
That's pretty cool.
Yes. Oh, I saw the cot. It's from Boston there for a second. I don't know what happened. So then the cot where Walter Cronkite slept, because he was a young journalist
Yeah.
covering the
So he
the
was
war.
embedded. Yeah.
And so he was covering the war, and he would get the newsreel back, and they would show those newsreels during the movies. You know, when people went to the movies, that's how they got their radio through the movie theater or the radio.
Right.
Yeah. So we were actually at the, just
Cool.
sitting there on the cot that Walter Cronkite slept on for a long time.
Pretty crazy.
It is pretty crazy.
That's pretty.
It's a great
crazy.
feeling.
I think. Well, I'm gonna try to cue up some music here. I was gonna try to do it on the fly, but I kept feeling rude turning my back on you. I'm gonna play a song.
Your hair looks fabulous in the back, by the way,
Yeah?
underneath your cap there. Yes.
Well,
Yes, I hadn't actually seen the back of your head all day long, but
I know, and it's I got the good hair. I don't
like
did
got a
you
little
see,
salt and pepper.
Did you see
coming on there.
the phase I just went through like the last year with my
You're,
long
oh
hair?
yeah. Remember,
It
I
got
saw
all the
you
way
at a
to my-
wedding.
It got all the way to my shoulders.
No, I saw you at a bat mitzvah.
That's
actually,
right.
at the
that's
bat mitzvah.
right.
Yes,
Yeah, and it was, but even then it took another 6 months later. But it finally got to kind of my shoulders. It was
Yes,
kinda
you had
touching my
some
shoulders.
long
It
locks
was-
going on
it
there
was
for a
getting
while.
there, and then I finally decided that I needed to go back to the short hair.
I like the short hair on you.
Most people do. That's why I went back to it. But even including my wife. Now, my wife is a very supportive lady, and she, every time I asked her what her honest opinion was, she's like, I'm not getting involved in that. I'm not going to be the one to tell you to cut it. I'm not going to be tell you the one to grow it because it's got to be you. Whatever you want. I don't want to be on record for being the one that made you do something with your hair you didn't want to do. So
That's nice. See,
I could
that's
tell she
completely
wanted it.
opposite of what I'd done.
I was completely ready for her to look at me and think I was attractive. So I did what I had to do, and what I thought was right, and I was right. She likes it better short. So it was just weird because in high school I always had long hair.
Oh, did you?
When I was really little, I had long hair. Everybody thought that I was a girl, and then in high school I had a mullet for a while. But
Really?
before the mullet though, I had the headbanger hair when I was 16. So it was shaved everywhere, kind of like how I started my hair growing it out, but it was shaved everywhere, and the top was long.
I think you should post those on Facebook.
I have posted some weird things on Facebook. Like, there's a picture that I posted on Facebook when I was in 6th grade, and my sister wanted to paint me up like Kiss, but she didn't have any black and white makeup, so she used purples and blues and grays.
Ah, you're the
And,
rainbow kiss.
It was... That sounds...
There are so many jokes there. Leave
do
it.
not go to
Leave
Urban
it.
Dictionary.
Leave
Do
it.
not go to Urban
Leave it.
Dictionary.
I know. I don't even know if that's in the Urban Dictionary, but you're probably right.
I imagine it is. It's got too many keywords in it
Yeah.
that would make sense.
Exactly.
But anyway, so I grew all my hair out, and then I cut it, and now I'm happy again. But I don't know. I guess women put their makeup on every day. Most women put at least some makeup on every day, so they're looking at themselves in the mirror.
I
every day.
really try not to wear, to come here to have to do my hair and put on makeup. I did this for you, Josh.
I appreciate
okay?
that. I
All right?
appreciate that.
All right. I did not shave
you
my
didn't have
legs.
to.
I didn't shave my legs for you.
I didn't
but-
shave mine for you either.
And I appreciate that. Okay, that was a reference to a song. I
Yes,
shaved my legs
I
for
know.
this. Okay.
And Cletus T. Judd had a parody called "Did I Shave My Back for This?"
Oh, okay. Ooh, ooh. Oh, yeah.
I wish I could have that queued up when you just.
Yeah,
wow,
I wish
throw that
so.
right
I
out
wish
there.
so much, but in an effort to be spontaneous, we don't. So yeah, putting on makeup every day is kind of a pain. So I don't do it. I
don't blame you. I'm not.
I don't do it every day.
I don't realize it's time for me to shave until I have to play a show, and then that's probably the only time I look in the mirror is the day I have a show.
Mm-hmm.
I just I don't.
I can't go that far. I do actually look in the mirror.
Well, it looks like
know.
you're freshly shaven on your face
And
today.
yes, except
It's a
like
good
maybe
thing.
like right there. There's
So-
you know.
All right. Well, hey, I want to play some of my friends' music real quick.
Oh,
while we
do
take a break and a reset, and when we come back, we're going to talk about your EP. Right? You have an EP.
I
and then,
do. I have one coming out.
We're going to discuss a few of the artists that you've gotten some cuts with, which is really cool. That's every songwriter's
Cool.
dream right there. One day I got to get some cuts too.
Let's do it.
I keep cutting my own though.
and simple. Some have flowers hanging down. They all go on forever, but I see them different now. As I sit in the driver's seat in silence, I believe in angels as me and Mama cried. We knew there was one with you on 288 that night. I say a prayer every time I see a side of the road memory. It reminds me of what I've lost. Well, you could have been across. You say that you'll never take for granted again a sunset or a baseball game, or be scared of that first pitch, knowing everything can change in the blink of an eye. Might have opened yours, but it sure has opened mine. And I don't say enough that I love you. And I believe in angels as me and Mama cried. We knew there was one with you on 288 that night. I say a prayer every time I see a side of the road memory. It reminds me of what I've lost. Well, you could have been across my heart that was almost broken. I'll never leave any words unspoken, and I'll thank the Lord for keeping you down here. I believe in angels as me and Mama cried. We knew there was one with you on 288 that night. I say a prayer every time I see a side of the road memory. It reminds me of what I lost. Well, you could have been across. Thank God you're not across.
Hate to say, but you're kind of standing out. A clean-cut concrete cowboy in this blue jean t-shirt crowd. I mean this right, so I hope you don't take it wrong. But whatever brought you out this way, if you're gonna stay, you gotta get a little country on you, a little broken on those boots, a subtle hint of a southern drop, less hello and more hey dog, callous on those hands. If you want feel free to call me up. If you get lost on those back roads, or your two-wheel drive gets stuck. Yeah, you're cute too, but there's one thing you'll learn about me is that I shoot straight, my bar ain't low, and you got a ways to go to get a little country on you, a little broken on those boots, a subtle hint of a southern drawl, less hello and more hey y'all, callous on those hands. If you wanna be my man, you're gonna need a rough edge or two. We gotta get a little country on you. Country on you.
Walking hot, steamy streets, trying to ease my mind. Came on down to this river town to see what I could find. Pretty soon this crescent moon started to suck me in, and now I'm busted down wearing a whiskey crown in this city full of sin. I'm drifting to the middle of the river, in the middle of the river, she's fast. Hard to roll against that flow of muddy water when your motor's run out of gas. I'm drifting to the middle of the river, in the middle of the river, she's mean. Pull me back under, Lord, it isn't any wonder that I drowned in New Orleans. Well, ain't sure how it all went down. It feels like a dream. All the money in my pocket gone, and my head busting at the seams. Well, Dixieland wandering cost me my soul somehow. Well, I was walking on the asphalt of Bourbon Street, and now I'm waking on the corner of Decatur and Canal. Yeah, I'm drifting to the middle of the river, in the middle of the river, she's fast. Hard to roll against that flow of muddy water when your motor's run out of gas. I'm drifting to the middle of the river, in the middle of the river, she's mean. Pull me back under, Lord, it isn't any wonder that I drowned in New Orleans. I'm going under. 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 I'm going under, yeah. I'm drifting to the middle of the river, in the middle of the river, she's fast. It's hard to roll against that flow of muddy water when your motor's run out of
All right, we are back. See, I turned the gain up in my microphone now, so I don't sound like a wuss. It's not projecting good enough. Christopher, I hope that's better for you, sir. Oh, nothing's better because I don't have the mic on, at least on this app. Hopefully it was working the whole time, but I don't know anymore with this software. But it sounds good in my earphones. So we're back. I'm sitting here with Susan, and it's Giacona, because I always look at her name and I don't know why it's so hard. I know
you want to make some crazy pronunciation out of it.
Well, I go by Fuller with my last name, but that's not my legal name.
Really?
Really?
Are you in the witness protection program?
Yes.
Or,
yes.
Are you sure you? I mean, do you
people
wanna
that
tell
I
us?
witness want to go into protection for sure. No, it's just so my blood father has been out of the picture forever. Like since I was 6 weeks old, he left. But my stepdad, who raised me since I was 4, he's Fuller. And so he never did the paperwork thing to adopt me and legally make me a Fuller. But I've always been a Fuller.
Right.
And so even in high school, I have 2 pictures in the yearbook. I have my legal name, which I'm not going to say on the air. It's just, you don't need to know. It doesn't matter.
Right.
And then I have a Fuller. And it's the same picture, 2 different names. And then even when I tried to my junior year, I think it was my junior year, I tried to transfer from one school to another school because the other school offered night classes, and I had a full-time job already, and I wanted to go just do school at night and work my full-time job. And when I got my transcripts there, they were only half of my transcript because even the transcripts were screwed up.
Oh,
so
wow,
luckily I didn't have to go to college or anything.
It's kind of a pain.
It
actually.
is a pain. If I really wanted to go to college or something like that, it'd have been a headache.
And what about your driver's license and all that?
The driver's license is fine. That's no big deal. But the schools really were confused. So
I mean, I'm confused hearing the story. Actually, no,
I have
kidding.
like my GPA was like 3 squared or something. I don't know. It was weird. I hear these jokes for the first time as they come out of my mouth too, folks. So we're obviously we are not on a strict time thing, but I'm trying to teach myself to adhere to my time slot here. Real quick though, we'll recap. Well, we don't really need to recap. You've been talking. We've been talking. Everybody's been here. So Susan has been my guest. Susan is a singer-songwriter. She lives right here in the Woodlands, but she does business everywhere. Apparently, she's in demand, and she's got a lot of things coming down the pipe. But she one of those things is that, or you have now already an EP, correct?
It's in the works.
In the works. She has an EP in the works. So that's where I'm trying to give it to you now. You can explain all about this wonderful, wonderful achievement here. EPs are great, in my opinion, because they're short and they don't cost as much.
No,
I've released 2 full albums. And in hindsight, knowing what I know now about how people purchase music and consume music, I really wish I had done an EP on the second one and had a lot more money for the marketing aspect of it. But yes, let's talk about the EP.
well, I'm so excited about the fact that I've got so much that I feel like is recordable, EP worthy. That it's hard to. Yes, it's hard to decide right now. So I'm going to do this first one, be coming out, say, like in February, and then another one at the end of the year on the Walking Away from Heaven. I'm really excited about that because that's going to be on the EP. That's actually going to be like EP. It's going to be EP plus.
Okay.
Because that's just going to be just a little extra there. Oh, and that song is actually going to be on their. They're doing a CD down at the store at the Battleship Texas, the gift store. So that'll be the video will be on their in their gift store. And it'll also include printable rare photos that you can't get anywhere else.
Of you dressed up in World War II gear, or
no, vintage photography. That is printable because a lot of history buffs,
really cool.
Like to have all that around their office.
Yeah.
So that's going to be for sale down there. But as far the song, then it's going to be on my own EP as well, and I'm excited because Michael Brower, who is a really incredible 10-time Grammy-winning mixer, is mixing "Walking Away from Heaven." So so we'll be doing some other projects with him, and I say we because I mean me and Holly, not the mouse in my pocket. And so so that's all coming down the road. And like I said, I've got so many good things. I've got some really, really good co-writers. I've got
you got to have one more, so because you and I will now have to write something.
Absolutely. I have no doubt we could write something awesome.
Are you with Are you with a publishing group, or are you still pretty much independent on your own?
No, I'm independent on my own. I have been writing with Black Diamond Row Publishing.
Okay.
Kevin Brandt. Kevin's got some incredible number ones to his name.
Right.
So I'm really excited about writing with him. So I've been working with Black Diamond Row, but as far as having a
deal.
Publisher,
right?
Yes.
So you can still write outside of that, and it doesn't belong to them.
Correct.
Yeah,
that is right.
Okay,
that is
very
right.
Cool.
Yeah,
that because if I'm gonna if I write with you and then they own it, I might as well just be on their label too.
Right. Exactly.
Things like that is what I'm curious about. I'm trying to think about an angle. How do I get in?
Yeah. Yeah.
The okay, so EP Plus. It's got a good ring to it.
Yeah.
It's got a great ring to it. And I want to, while we're talking, let you drop a few more names. So you've gotten some cuts from other artists that are out there doing it.
Yeah, so Darren Morris.
Yep.
Darren has cut 2 of my songs, like y'all heard Where Will I Be, and then That First I Love You. And then Ella Knox. Ella is just a really incredible pop artist out in L.A.
Okay, cool.
Ella and I are writing together now, and then we wrote a song called Broken Teddy Bear, which is really personal.
That makes me, I was going to say, that makes you just like, that's a sad song.
Yeah, it's a
sad
pop
premise.
It's a pop song, but you don't know right at first that it's a sad song.
Yeah.
It's kind of like remember that, what was that that Pat Benatar song that was a sad song, but you didn't know till you really, really, really listened to the words.
I don't know. You're going to get me to say
Yes,
something,
yes,
and people are going to be
okay.
like, that ain't Pat Benatar.
I know. Let's not even get the text, the rowdy text going. But,
I know.
but
Because
anyway,
if people wanted to complain, they could text into 832-910-7359.
right. So,
But don't tell anybody.
right. So then, so that's going to be on her next EP, and then we're working on some other things. Billy Lord is another artist that's recording a couple of my things, one of which I wrote with Clay Mills.
Okay.
Clay has several songs that Darius Rucker has cut, and
Awesome.
just lots and lots of hits to his name that Clay has. And yes, so Heather. Oh my gosh, I've drawn a blank.
That's okay.
Heather and the Deacons.
Heather and the Deacons.
Heather and the
Okay.
Deacons. Yes. Heather is cutting a song I wrote called. Well, I don't want to tell you what it's called.
Don't. Yeah,
I'm
if it's not out yet.
Yeah, I'm not telling you what it's called.
Yeah, don't tell me.
Yeah. So
Just know. So you're not strictly country. You're not strictly pop.
right. That's correct.
Would you consider yourself more a lyricist, and then the music comes, or do you hear the whole thing in your head and then you kind of design your song around what you hear in your head? Because I know a couple people that are they're lyricists, they're poets, and the words come out, but they don't really, in their head, they don't hear the melody or anything like that.
It's funny because it's never just lyrics alone.
Mm-hmm.
It's either lyrics and a melody that pop into my head, or something that's fully produced that I hear, I think, oh, well, that needs some words to it. So it's never just lyrics alone.
Isn't that crazy how your brain, and I'm sure it's for anybody in the field that they're in, but isn't it crazy how your brain can hear an entire song that's not being played?
It really is, actually.
And isn't it crazy that you can take that and put it in somebody else's head? That's the magic of music. I love that. Like,
I know. It really is. And when you're in that session and you're trying to explain to people what you hear in your head.
Oh man, I use sound effects because I can't tell. I don't know music lingo, so I can't be like, no, it's a 4/4 and you got it.
Right.
I'm just like, it goes do 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 do.
I know. And then the electric goes bow, bow,
Yeah.
yeah.
They're like, is that a dobro or a slide guitar? I don't
right.
know. Use your imagination.
Exactly.
So when I write, I've tried. People have asked me many times, like, do you write the verses first, or do you write the music first and then write words on top of it? I've never done that. I've never like played my guitar and found a a riff or something like that, and then I just like, oh, we got to put words to that. I've
Yeah.
never done that. There's some songs out there you hear it and you just automatically know that the music had to come first. You're just like, oh, okay, they're just looking for words, but not that it's a bad thing. But I think most of the things I always come up with the hook first, and then I build around it. And so usually it's a hook, and then a chorus, and then I just try to, now I know what the chorus is, so I kind of know what the story's, the end of the story is.
Right.
And then I just start filling in the blanks later. So I didn't realize I had a method or a way, but I started paying attention more when I start writing a song or what I come up with. And
Right.
usually I get the hook, and then I have to decide, okay, is this a hook to get out of a verse into a chorus, or is this the hook of the chorus? And 9 times out of 10, I'm pretty much coming up with the hook in the chorus.
Right. Well, recently I had a situation where I wrote a song called "Loving Me Into the Light," and we'll probably just end up calling it "Into the Light." I performed it on a show called the Country Network. Actually, they're based in Dallas, they're in New York, and they're in Nashville too. Did that a few weeks ago, and that was based on a poem by actually she's one of my mentors. Her name is Dr. Beverly Robinson. Just an incredible person. She's a poet. She's a pastor. She's a mother. She's just this really incredible human being. And so they're making a movie about her. And she had a poem that she wanted to do something with it, but she didn't know if she wanted the poem to be a song. And I was explaining to her how, a song isn't in the same format as
Right.
a poem. So first I go through all of that. And she said, well, I want you to do whatever you want to do with it. She goes, you take it, you do whatever you want. So after I get down to the storyline, it ends up being a poem about a woman who is in love with a man, and she refuses to have any kind of a romantic relationship with him until he gets himself let's say organized and
Okay.
cleaned up.
Okay.
Because he likes living the fast life,
I gotcha.
and she's not going to live the fast life. She's
She's a proper young lady.
exactly,
All right.
exactly. And so when she's reading this poem to me, and then I tell the story back to her, which is basically what I just told you. I said, let me see if I understand this. She said, that's it, exactly. So I took the poem and I used that concept, but I used no words in the poem.
Right.
And the song is called "Loving Me Into the Light,"
Okay.
because that's basically
Yeah.
he got himself straightened out for her.
Right. So she was the light, and she loved him enough to bring him into her light.
Right,
Oh,
right.
gotcha.
And then he ended up being on a spiritual path himself.
Okay.
And he ended up cleaning up. First, he was cleaning up for her, but then he realized that this was the life that he really wanted to live. I
Right.
got chill bumps
It
telling
was
you.
it was for him.
Yes.
Now. Yeah.
Yes.
That's really cool.
And so I love the song, and I wrote that with a girl named Megan Ashley. She also goes by Megan Barker, and Lucy LeBlanc. Lucy's actually in Canada, and so I'm really excited about that one. That's on my EP.
Okay.
I'm so excited about that song. I could almost sing it for you right now with no music, but I'm not going to.
Okay. Well, I mean,
It's running through my head
it
right
is
now.
what you do. Yeah. Well, no, it's funny because, and we brushed on it earlier about how we kind of have that constant inferiority complex, and like every time you, like even when you record a song, you instantly go, "Oh, yeah, I should have done this way, that way." And so, when I recorded my second album, the opportunity came pretty quickly. Like I had saved up my own money, and I thought I was just going to go record an EP, and then some other doors opened, and I was like, "Oh wow, I can actually do a whole album." I have a month to write 8 songs, and I did. And in my opinion, they were really good songs. Probably like what I thought was my best songs. They were a lot more. There was just a lot more to them than just, "Hey, I'm at a bar drinking a beer," and so then I recorded that album and all that, and I'm proud of all the music on it. But now I'm sitting here with a handful of all these new songs. I'm like, holy crap, these are the best songs I ever wrote. And maybe I'm wrong, but I've always heard if you ask a songwriter, and it's true if you ask me, if you ask a songwriter what their best song they ever wrote was, it's the last one. Like, or their favorite song they ever wrote, it's the last one. And it's like, I don't know if it's true for every songwriter, but for me, like every single time I write a song, at least for a brief moment, you're like, because they're part of you, right?
Right. I think right when you're in it, like when you're in it, and it's all, and you're giving birth to it.
Yeah,
what
I
a
actually was
bizarre
I was gonna
analogy,
use that
but-
No, I was gonna
I
use the
know.
analogy, but I just didn't feel like I had the equipment.
Yeah, well, and you don't. But so when it's all getting formed and coming together, yeah, I can see that. Like right when you're in it, I think probably one of the most amazing feelings, and I the word amazing is so overused.
It is.
It
That's
really is.
amazing
So-
that you think that.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, it is totally overused.
Yes, it
okay,
is.
my pet peeve. It's one I have a list.
Mhm.
Just it's
And
a small,
awesome
It's
is
a
the same.
small. It's a small list, but I have some words that I think that
Mhm.
need to be really put back where they belong.
Yeah.
But awesome
That's amazing.
is hearing your song that went from your head to somebody else's head
And they get it.
heart, and they get it. Oh, and then
And they
it
sing
comes
it back
out,
to you.
and then it comes out in the instrument,
Mm-hmm.
and then you go into the recording studio, and it's coming out of the minds and the hands and the hearts of all this group of people,
Right.
and you're sitting there all forming it together, and you're giving birth to this song baby together,
Yeah.
and that's amazing.
It's as close to creation as a human can get.
Yes.
I think
well, as to you can get
as
Yeah.
as
The
a
you-
human,
well,
because creation is making something out of nothing,
right.
and so a thought is as close to nothing.
Oh, okay.
As,
I'm sorry. I thought we were talking
Yeah.
about specifically the whole
No.
childbirth thing.
No,
But
yeah,
yes,
no,
as
no.
far as a human,
No, I'm beyond childbirth. I've dealt
Yeah.
with the fact that I can't have kids.
okay.
But just
It's 2017. That may have changed now.
it
actually.
may have.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
There's some stuff.
That opens a political wormhole I don't want to go into yet. So the oh, you threw me
I'm
off track.
so sorry.
You were so
Oh, do I win?
not-
do I
no,
win?
you don't
Do I
win.
win?
You don't win
something?
because
Okay.
I'm fixing to be I'm coming back again. But
But yes, in the studio, giving birth to your
Yeah.
song baby, and you're all in there together. But it's
Yeah.
amazing where it first starts.
right,
And then
that's why
it
I was
ends
saying
up
it's
there.
as close to creation as you can, as
Yeah.
we as humans could probably get to, because the thought is a thought is a thing, sort of, but it's as close to nothing as we could ever have started with.
Right.
And that's one thing I enjoy about the woodworking so much. It's very similar to my songwriting.
Yes, you start with these raw materials.
Right.
It's
You just have a-
there.
you
It's
just
a
have
block of wood.
a block of wood, or if you're really extreme, you start with the tree.
right.
You fell the tree, you cut the tree, you mill it, you do everything else, and then you have this idea in your head of what you want to build, and then you build it. But the difference is I can't put that piece of furniture in your head, because once I put my song in your head, it's in your head forever.
Right. That's
And
right.
even if you don't remember the whole thing, there's going to be something. If the song meant enough to you at one time to get in your head, it's always going to be with you no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's as close to create. I think it's as close to creation as we can get as humans. But that's
I think you're right. So that's really, I love that part. I love
Mm-hmm.
co-producing. So I guess for me right now, Walking Away from Heaven is my little pet project right now, and
well. Christopher said, "I'll tell you what Christopher said."
what did Christopher say?
Christopher said, "In my honest opinion, I am H.O. That song will be a huge hit if the right people hear it. I can easily imagine Marcus Luttrell getting behind it and being used in like a Lifetime movie."
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you,
So,
Christopher, for that. I
that's
appreciate that.
Very nice words from Christopher. He also said I sound more manly now that I turned my microphone up.
good. Oh,
And,
good.
That's a good thing. See, when you're by yourself, you have nothing to compare it to. It's just like it sounds good or it sounds like crap. You don't know. But if it's better than crap, then it's good, right?
Exactly. And that was, I say that every day, that if this day is better than,
Yesterday.
well, no, then
Oh.
I didn't want to say that word on the air. We're on the air. I can't cuss
Oh.
on the air.
No, I don't even know what you said. But no, today's been a lot more fun than talking to myself, for sure.
I'm so glad that I could help you with
Yes.
that. Hey, I love your saying on the wall there. I keep looking at that. I love
Oh.
this. I'm going
Go
to
ahead
steal
and read it. Yeah, go ahead and read it out
says-
loud.
It says, I'll do it. If music be the food of love, play on Shakespeare. There you go.
That's a pretty good saying. I like that one,
I
too.
love it.
Did you see the one? This is a Fullerism right here. Hold on.
Go ahead. Grab the tiger by the tail. See what happens.
See, that's a Fullerism right there.
Okay.
I've got
You
a few
know,
of them.
I'll come up with a recent Susanism from last night.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, do you leave everything on the floor? You've got to start picking up stuff. I just can't be picking up your stuff all the time. You've got to pick up your own stuff every now and then.
And you should pre-record that to play every single day.
I know.
That's how
because,
it is with my kids too.
Because it's constant. It's constant. So
It's
that
the same
was the first
conversations
every single day.
I don't understand. And I tell them that too. Like my oldest one's turning 12 next month. I'm like, dude, for 12 years, I've had the same conversation with you every morning. You know, why do I have to keep doing this? Why do I have to tell you to throw that trash in the trash can? Why do I have to tell you to put your shoes by the front door? You know, it's just like,
I know.
That's
but you're right.
parenthood.
I do need to just hit.
Wouldn't it be great?
Hit play.
Just
that goes
you got
with
a
your
voice recorder.
Yes. So with your automated home system,
Yeah.
in addition to playing the Barry White for date night,
You can just play
you can
Mom.
also have the the mom.
What would Mom say? What would
Yeah,
Dad say?
Yeah. Oh, and which by the way,
And what would Grandma say?
My 13-year-old's phone ring is some little thing that goes unacceptable. That's his ring. It's me calling me.
That's
That's me.
awful.
That's
Oh,
the ring
awful.
for me. Isn't that terrible?
That is really awful.
I know it's
Oh, my
hysterical, but
gosh.
see, I'm such a fun mom. I think that's so funny.
So let's do a quick, just a quick rundown of final questions that must be asked. Do you have a number one influence as a songwriter and it's a hard question because people ask me and I can never come up with an answer because I kind of turned into a songwriter, but I didn't start writing songs because of songwriters. However, songwriters are the unsung heroes of the music world. I mean, you got plenty of people out there, especially on the major labels and the national level. They're not songwriters. They're just performers.
Right.
And they can sing well. They can play guitar well. Some of them don't play guitar at all. So my dad always told me, son, you'll never make it in this world unless you can play guitar and write your own songs. Well, in Texas, that works great. But apparently you can make it if you don't write your own songs and if you don't play guitar. So I know it's kind of a loaded question, but either a songwriter that really now inspires you or always did, or just a performer that just inspires you for music.
Okay, so in the past year, I have gotten to know someone that was already a songwriting hero, and now that I know him and his wife, and I've seen him play all of the hits that he's written, I mean, he's my number one songwriting hero, and that's Dean Dillon.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So to be in a living room with Dean playing the songs that I loved my whole life, and to hear his words come from him. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love George Strait. I love George Strait. But to hear Dean Dillon sing his song
Right.
that George Strait recorded, I mean, there's magic in that to me.
Right.
I mean,
because it's like telling a story third party, right?
Right.
It's like, I mean, I could tell you a great story, and then you're going to go tell somebody that story, and you could try your best to invoke as much passion and as much personal attachment to that as you can, but it's still not my story. My story is only my story. So even though you have King George singing your music and singing your songs and doing what he does, it's still not from the Dean Dillon himself,
Right.
or from the person telling the story
Right.
himself. So hearing it in its raw format's great. When I did that Dripping Spring Songwriter Festival, I told you I got to play with that dude, Jason. What's his name? You know him.
yeah.
You wrote with him. you
I
said.
did. Yeah, I got a tune with Jason. Jason co-wrote Dibs,
Yep.
and
Where are you, Jason?
come on, Jason Duke.
Jason Duke, you got it. Yes. So yeah, Jason Duke he co-wrote Dibs, which is great. It was cool.
Dibs is a Kelsey Ballerini song.
Ballerini.
Ballerini.
But it was kind of, it's even him. So when I played that Songwriter Festival, most of them were performers as well. They're really good. And Jason he just told the crowd, he goes, look, I'm not a performer. I'm not a singer like the rest of these folks. I have my songs. I'll play them for you, and I'll try to make them to where you recognize them if you've heard them before and whatever. And so even in that format, to hear Dibs by itself, it's really cool.
Yeah.
And I think production takes over when it gets into the higher rankings of the music scene. But when you strip everything away and it's just the writer and their guitar, to me, maybe because I'm getting older, it's just the greatest thing.
Mm-hmm.
I love hearing it in its raw format. The headliner of that event was Lori McKenna,
Mm-hmm.
and so she wrote the Always Be Humble and Kind.
Yes.
And then she also wrote Girl Crush.
Right.
And so even hearing her versions of those songs stripped down without
Right.
all the doo-doo-doo and whatever, the fancy drum beats and all that good stuff, it's just really cool. I don't know. I like the raw.
I love it. I love it.
The raw stuff. It's really neat. So hopefully one day I'll be sitting on a stage somewhere and be like, oh yeah, man, so and so wrote, cut this song, and yeah, they did all right. I mean, it's just on #1 for 24 weeks.
Well, the day's still young.
It is.
It's only 3:15,
It
and
is.
You can still.
I got time to do stuff. My
do.
my kid don't get off the bus for 30 more minutes, but we are actually going to wrap this up for the day, for us anyway. For you guys anyway, I'm going to play a couple of songs off the air that Susan hadn't heard that I wrote yet, but we want to thank you for tuning in.
Thank
And
you,
Susan,
Josh,
yeah.
for asking me to come today.
I'm glad
I
you-
really had a good time.
You were our very first guest, and you did well.
I am going to. I hope that I set the bar high.
I hope so.
For
yeah.
future. No,
We're
wait.
gonna-
Did I? Yeah.
Yeah,
Did I
we're
set
gonna
the bar
we're gonna
high,
get a
or-
permanent bar in here.
Yeah.
Everybody has to walk under that bar when they sit on the
Okay.
couch.
All right. So
we're gonna have to name the couch at some point.
I love
so-
this couch.
It's pretty. I mean, it's
It's very comfortable.
in great shape. A
It
lot of
is.
history.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why you were so on fire today. It's just all
Maybe
that,
so.
all that juju
Yeah.
coming out of there.
That. But I appreciate you asking me to come over.
Yeah.
I'd love to come back and
Christopher wants you to come back closer to your event, your
Okay.
Wheelchair for Warriors event.
Okay.
And promote it one more time at least.
absolutely would love to.
So, all right, give everybody the rundown on where to find you.
The www.susangiacona.com, and Giacona is Giacona, and Facebook is Susan Giacona Music, and Instagram is Susan Giacona Music, and Pinterest is Susan Giacona Music, and Twitter is Susan Giacona Music.
Man, it's brilliant. See,
How about that?
mine are all the same until you get to Twitter, or no, they're not actually. So I'm on Twitter as the Josh Fuller,
Okay.
so you're not mistaken. And then I'm on
Right.
Instagram as Josh_Fuller, and then I'm on Facebook as Josh Fuller Band,
Ah.
and then I'm on YouTube as Josh Fuller POT, and that's a long story. So just
Okay.
just look for it. I wanted to streamline everything, and I didn't because it was just a hassle. Because I've just over the years, you get kind of spread out and do different things. But starting with this show, hopefully, if everything goes right and I push the right buttons, and so far we're good, you will now be able to listen to this as a podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. You don't have to go to just SoundCloud and download a new app and all that good stuff. And if you're listening to this now, you've probably already figured that out. So I don't know who my target audience is for this particular announcement, but share this with everybody. Let them know that they can listen live on Wednesdays 1 to 3 using the TuneIn app and searching for KTXF, The Real.
And that's
REEL.
REEL.
REEL, because it is a sports station. So it is the Sports Reel or the Fishing Reel. I do talk about fishing quite a bit now because my boys are really into it hardcore. And soon in the spring it'll be all about Little League Baseball because I have a little kid who is a amazing little ball player, and his team is really, really good. They're a little select team. So, but I guess we're going to get out of here. I am at the Pacific Yard House in Conroe, Texas on Friday. What would that be? The 1st, I guess. Yeah, on Friday the 1st. That's at 8:30 p.m. It's a free show. I'm in Tomball at the Empty Glass hosting open mic night. So if you have new songs that you want to come and play,
I'm going to come
Susan,
see you. I'm going to come see you over there.
or if you just want to hear my stuff in its raw form, then come out and do it. Got a lot of stuff. Got my woodworking. Got my Facebook. My music going. So go to joshfullerband.com and all that good stuff. I think I'm run out of things to promote.
Oh, we could talk a
We could-
long time.
Well, yeah, we could, but
we can't.
We can't.
They'll get mad at
so-
us.
So we're going to call it a day today. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Tell your friends how much you love us and make them tune in, too. And we will talk to y'all next week. Thank you.
take from me that I really need. Well, I called your name till I blew in the face, and I broke the moon, but I let it go. 'Cause it don't come in the color that you wanted. Color me hopelessly in love. 'Cause all I really need is us. Dime store cowgirl, Casey was her name. I dreamt of giving her my mama's diamond ring. There ain't a thing in this old poor boy she could see that she'll ever need. Well, that's alright, 'cause I called your name till I blew in the face, and I broke the moon, but I let it go. 'Cause it don't come in the color that you wanted. Color me hopelessly in love. 'Cause all I really need is us. Keep your eyes on this heart of mine, 'cause it's wild and it's free and it's real. Wrap your mind around the time gone by. Don't let it get to you, 'cause I'll still be here too. Call your name till I'm blue in the face, and I broke the moon, but I let it go every time. 'Cause it don't come in the color that you wanted. Color